There are stories that entertain us. There are stories that move us. And then there are stories that leave us deeply uncomfortable. Stories that force us to confront parts of humanity we would rather ignore. Kafan is one of those stories. Written by Premchand, one of the most renowned novelists in Indian literature, Kafan, which translates to the Shroud, is not merely a tale about poverty. It is a brutal examination of hunger, hopelessness, morality, and the slow death of human dignity. Even decades later, it remains disturbingly powerful. At the center of the story are Ghisu and Madhav, a father and son living in extreme poverty. They are lazy, irresponsible, and seemingly indifferent to work or social expectations. As the story begins, Madhav's wife Budhiya is inside their hut, suffering through agonizing labor pains, while the two men sit outside by a fire roasting stolen potatoes. Instead of helping her, they continue eating and talking. This opening alone is shocking. Most readers instinctively expect sympathy, but Premchand deliberately denies us that comfort. Ghisu and Madhav appear emotionally numb, almost detached from the suffering happening only a few feet away. And that is what makes it so unsettling. As the night progresses, Budhiya dies during childbirth, yet even in death the father and son react less with grief than with inconvenience. The villagers gather money so they can buy a shroud for her funeral, a final gesture of dignity for the dead woman. But instead of purchasing the shroud, Ghisu and Madhav spend the money on food and alcohol at a local tavern. This is the moment where Kafan transforms. The reader is forced to ask, are these men monsters, or are they products of unbearable poverty? Premchand refuses to provide an easy answer. That is what makes Kafan such an extraordinary work of literature. Ghisu and Madhav are selfish, cruel, and morally broken. Yet at the same time, they are victims of a society that has stripped them of dignity. Poverty in Kafan is not romanticized, it is corrosive. It destroys ambition, compassion, responsibility, and eventually even humanity itself. What makes the story powerful is Premchand's realism. There is no dramatic speech, no sentimental redemption, and no comforting resolution. The writing is direct, almost cold at times, which makes the emotional impact even stronger. The final scenes in the tavern are unforgettable. Ghisu and Madhav drink, eat, and momentarily celebrate while Budhiya's body lies without a shroud. It is horrifying, but also tragic. For a brief moment, the men experience the warmth and satisfaction that life has almost never given them. Their moral collapse feels both inexcusable and painfully understandable. That tension is the genius of Kafan. Premchand asks us to confront what prolonged suffering can do to the human soul. In Kafan, poverty is not just economic, it is spiritual. More than anything, the story lingers because it offers no easy escape from its darkness. The characters feel terrifyingly real. Kafan is cruel and emotionally devastating, but that cruelty is what makes it one of the most powerful stories ever written. Subscribe to literature, literally, for more cinematic explorations of great works from around the world.